is Joyce Young. Developing the courage is a lifelong process that requires combination of work and time. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but in Joyce's word, the rewards are well worth her effort. Now, please listen to Joyce Young with the speech title, Developing the Courage to Change the Things I Can. Joyce, you are on.
Thank you. Many times in my life, I've prayed the serenity prayer to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. But it occurs to me that the answer to that prayer comes in the form of first knowing what it is you want to do, and secondly, being willing to work and be diligent until you receive it. I'll tell you a story that happened to me years ago when I was a young military recruit. I had so much wanted to be a United States Marine. There's a sign right on the recruiter's door that says, maybe you can be one of us. Well, I wanted to be. Therefore, I enlisted. I went through the drill, the training, the education, gave it the best that I could. Then one day, the DIs, those are our drill instructors, they took the whole platoon out to an obstacle course. When we got in front of the obstacle course, the DIs sectioned us off. They were on the sidelines with their stopwatches and their whistles, and they were doing what DIs do best, which is yell at us. So we're lined up and we're ready to start. They suddenly start the whole routine, and eventually it was my turn to go. I heard the whistle blow. I took off running with the best of them. I was giving it my best. Then suddenly I came to a wall. That wall looked to me like it was at least 10 feet tall. I knew instantly I cannot do that. So I didn't. I didn't even try. I just went around that wall and on to the finish line. All I could hear were the DIs screaming at us, saying, go, 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 keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's what I did. After I crossed the finish line, I felt so disappointed in myself. And I was waiting for someone to call me in and tell me I had been disqualified. You're not going to make it. Got to pack your things and go. But that day never came. I finished my tour. I got the uniform. I did all that I was supposed to do, and it was over. But that feeling never really left me. From time to time over the years, I would remember. So about 5 years ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I mentioned this story. He asked me, well, do you have a DD-214? That's our military release papers. I said, yes. He said, well, what does it say about you and the obstacle course? I say, nothing. He said, you know why? Because it wasn't that critical to them, but obviously it's critical to you. Therefore, you should fix it. I think that's nonsense, and I move on. Well, that thought came to me again last week. I had to rewrite my presentation for today because I stayed on for the panel discussion, and I heard Jan paint a glorious, wonderful, awesome picture of Toastmasters International. And I thought, like to be one of them. But I had looked into the pathway of becoming a DTM, and I saw a huge obstacle course with walls, with hurdles. And I wasn't so sure that I could do that. But I heard Eddie say for the first 4 months of him joining, he stayed in the car. And I thought, well, maybe I need to rethink some things. So I did. I went back and I rethought about that experience that I'd had. And I concluded, number one, I made the right decision for that day and for that time. The second thing I thought about is feeling regret and guilt about something you didn't do doesn't move the needle at all. And the third thing I thought about, if I'm going to know whether I can or cannot do something, I have to put in the work. I have to try it and find out. So I decided to fix my memory of that experience. And what I choose to do is, if I've set a goal for myself to do something, to be diligent about it, to do all that I can. And in the process of doing that, I will know, I will develop the courage and be able to do the things that I can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. We enjoyed your speech. If everyone can take 20 seconds to write the love notes to Joyce with feedback, then we'll have a 5-minute break.
Joyce isn't showing up on the chat, I guess, because she's on her cell phone.
Hey, to all the speakers.
Maybe next screen. Move to your screen to the right. There's
on
an
there, Jen.
arrow to the right.
She's on there.
On the chat? I just missed it for some reason. Okay.
She's on the
She's
chat.
Next screen.
She's on there.
Okay, I just didn't see it.